craziest thing happens when you start working on Adam's cars.
Harder you work, the faster it grows. So we got almost everything done on this car. Exhaust, the wastegate, all the intercooler piping is done. Chris has everything wired up. I even heard this Diddy turn on.
Yep.
Which is loud. That
Yeah.
thing is, well, it's
when
empty
it has
right
oil
now.
in it, it'll be a little less noisy, but you know, also it's probably going to draw some battery power, but it'll be fine.
So we have everything done on here. The last thing that I need to do is just put a little half moon cut out of this, just so it's feasible to get to the wastegate, because as it sits now, it doesn't. And it's really close. I really would just have to take this and hammer it a couple times to dent it out. But
it also gives a little extra airflow.
Yeah.
Keep the wastegate nice and cool, you know?
But we also have our wastegate blanket from Funk Motorsports, which is sweet.
Cool.
Nice little ditty up there.
So let's show them everything you guys filmed.
Show them the goods.
Show the goods. Roll the reel.
Cricket is melting pieces of metal together. Working on intercooler piping stuff. And I just got a little care package from our boys over at PSI. So now I have all of my intake O-rings, which are gonna just seal up and go right into those little grooves. So now I can put my ITBs on with my injectors, as well as the seals for that little vacuum collector tube. I have Cricket weld just one port shut on that thing because I don't need it and I don't want to have to worry about a vacuum cap popping off. And then we got a cool little idea of how we're going to run our vacuum lines off of the hose going to the brake booster, which conveniently already has a check valve built into it. Love that.
Boy, that mustache. Working on this car grows fast, right?
Yeah, it's wild.
I haven't seen it today, but oof. Oh yeah. So we finished up the intercooler piping.
Need a little coupler.
Just need a little tiny coupler right there.
We'll weld it on our fitting over yonder. So this is gonna feed the coolant on the turbo. We got a billet cap to block off the other one that he's welding the aluminum piece on now as well. And he finished welding up the little piece I need to block off my little vacuum manifold, whatever you want to call the thing. So I'm gonna throw some paint on this to make it pretty. And then, what else you got to weld?
That's it, I think.
You already got everything on the intake manifold done?
Yeah, it's already done. It's over there. I'll put this guy on there and that guy on there.
Bro,
What?
why did you not drill that out before you put that sensor on?
You didn't tell me to.
When have you ever not had to? It's like welding an O2 sensor bung out,
Like
not
this
drilling a hole behind it. Do I have to tell you to do that?
Yeah.
This shit ain't gonna fit in there.
Well, fuck.
Damn it, bro.
So since someone forgot to drill out something, I drilled it out now.
You would blame that on me.
I wasn't blaming it on you. I was blaming it on me. That's why I looked away. It was really Chris's fault. Don't let him tell you any different. He didn't tell me to drill it out. I follow marching orders. But either way, I drilled it out and then I tapped the whole thing down. So it's good to go. So it's cold in Florida still. You can tell by the way Chris is wearing pants, a hoodie.
That sweet boy.
Our sweet boy Brian
Hello.
comes to visit us as much as he can. We love it.
Yep.
So who stole the t-shirt?
Oh, I don't know. That's a mystery.
Is it 2X?
I wanna
We have a classic Who Done It at Drift HQ right now. We have brand new t-shirts out that haven't dropped yet. We're not even allowed to have them for some reason. Not sure why.
Yeah.
But one went missing and it's a 2XL. So we all said no. I mean, I'm a medium.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
Chris?
The shirt.
If the shirt fits,
It's around Chris. It ships. But
Well, he's the one calling it out, so you know sometimes it's got pointing the finger. You get
yeah, he who smelt it dealt it.
yeah. That's
no. Duarte had a shirt last night that he was like showing off to everybody. I think he just lost it just the same way.
Kind of like he loses his.
How he loses his
drinks.
drinks and everything.
But if you have
I think he just lost the shirt that he
So
was
you're-
showing off yesterday.
So
you're gonna blame Dad.
yeah, we're gonna go with
100%.
Brian. Brian went or jumped right to Duarte as the culprit.
100%.
100% the culprit.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean,
So-
you can be mad if you lose your own product.
He does lose everything.
He who smelt it.
All right, what's your guess?
I mean, I'm not pointing any fingers.
I'm not pointing any names or naming any fingers, but if you had to guess,
I think we all know.
who was it? Back to what we're actually doing.
Yeah. I got the gauge mounted in there.
So yeah, you got this sweet gauge mounted, and you can still see your tag, you can still see your speedo. Fuel gauge, you'll be able to see the light when it comes on.
Yeah, I mean, you're not supposed to.
I guess when you sit back this far, you can see everything. So.
Well, you gotta think about how tall Adam is too, up there somewhere.
That is a mighty fine mustache growing in,
getting
sir.
there.
It's starting to show.
It's getting there. It shows more once I get a little dirty.
Yeah.
All right, so I got the fitting in the oil pan for our scavenge pump too. This little Johnny all the way down yonder with that red cap on it. Once we get the scavenge pump mounted, then I can start making the hoses for that. We are on the hunt for finding some stuff to recirculate our wastegate dump. We're actually gonna make 2 versions of it for Adam. One is going to go back into the exhaust, then you can remove that, put a cap on it, and then have a dumped wastegate dump too. Just in case he decides it's too quiet, then at least he can switch it over and have the option to make cool noises when he hits boost. Because the whole thing is it's a sleeper, but at 800 horsepower, once you hit boost,
everybody's gonna know what it is.
Anymore
yeah,
anyway.
it's awake.
So the wastegates, whether it's recirculated or not, it's still gonna make a bunch of noise. It's gonna blow the tires off the damn thing, so, you know.
Hopefully not the axle.
Other obstacle we're finding right now is that this is our stock PCV vent. And since we're just running a vented PCV instead of recirculating back to the intake, we are trying to find a fitting that's going to thread into this plastic or replace this piece and adapt it to a 10AN so we can mount a cool little catch can over here. But I'm trying to find a good thread pitch that actually fits it, which right now isn't working. Might be like 1/2 inch NPT. We figured it out. Show you the goods.
Is that the old 1/2 inch?
That's a 1/2 inch NPT. Well, my tap is kind of dirty. I'm not gonna do this on the motor, but it's just about the right size, and it'll actually hike up our vent a little bit because this has a big cover piece that goes over top of it.
Now, for dumb people like me, NPT means it's tapered, right? It gets bigger the farther down you get.
Wider at the base, which works out good because we're sealing into plastic. It means the more you tighten it, the more it's actually gonna, you know, put tension on there. But we're not trying to crack this fitting either. So
you warm it up.
Just the right fitting. Oh, I'm gonna heat it up. Don't need thread sealer if you melt it in there. All right, so Cricket is over here trying to do math.
I'm chopping shit apart. So Chris had the great idea, instead of just dumping the wastegate right into the exhaust, he doesn't want any type of burbly noises and whatnot. So now I have to make this cut.
Yeah, so we took a couple pieces of welding rod, 4 corners, measure the distance. Now we'll see if his science is actually like applicable here.
My stuff is just some El Chapo stuff, but it's gonna be close. I'm supposed to be back down to here. So once I get to there, pretty damn close. It'll be good.
Nice.
And this has to get cut in farther.
Yeah, notch it like you would for a roll cage kind of thing. Kind of flush her up. But yeah, it looks pretty damn close to me.
There.
Hell, at that point, even just notching it might even get you flat.
Yeah.
The inner part anyways.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
Yeah, so we're recirculating this wastegate dump for that true sleeper appeal. But we're also gonna make another one and a cap, which will have a small V-bend over there. So that way, if he wants to make cool wastegate noises, all he has to do is change that pipe and disconnect it. So our little flex pipe helps to follow the flex, just like your flex pipe on your downpipe does. I was tasked with the fun activity of running my oil feed line onto the top of this turbo. Did not record it, but I assure you there's a lot of cussing and yelling and stuff going on. And yeah, so this one, because of where the manifold is routed and stuff like that, it makes more sense to me to run this underneath the pan. Zip tie is temporary, but at least the oil feed will work for that. Now I'm trying to figure out my coolant lines, whether or not my coolant lines are gonna run around the back of the motor or underneath the motor. And I don't know if it's gonna create some kind of weird air bubble. Cricket also made a bracket for that little guy. So while he's working on that, before I get to the top of the car again, I am gonna move some of those brake lines out of his way so he can weld that without causing any crazy problems.
I'm gonna weld to the frame rail on this side, and then I'm gonna take and put another piece going from here up to corner of the firewall.
Because we don't want that thing to fall on the ground, because you're gonna have a bad day.
It doesn't weigh that much, but if he hits any bumps, you know, that weighs more that way. I don't want it to be all floppy. And I gotta weld in.
Do that again?
I hate you. That's what you get. You're a tool.
You're a tool.
All right, while Chris is on heater 030, talking about this little guy right here and why I can't weld it all the way in place until he finishes dropping heat, because I'll start a fire inside the car, because there's still carpet and sound deadening and all sorts of stuff up there. So I made this little bracket, got this side already all done, because you don't actually have to worry about this. This isn't in the car, it's a frame rail. Oh, but this side, they has carpet and stuff in there. So I have 2 holes drilled right here, so I can tack weld, and then I'll do a strip up that way and a strip down there, just to make sure it don't go nowhere. And then Chris will have the fun job of getting this to run underneath here, tuck it around there, and then up to the turbo. We're also going to need to shout out to Funk Motorsports, see if they'll send us a nice little wastegate blanket for us. They always hook us up with our turbo shroud, our turbo blankets and everything. This one we're not going to be able to run it for obvious reasons because there's a wastegate on it, but we can run their Funk Motorsports wastegate blanket. Then Chris just has to run some backing lines for this. I have this all set up, but I'm gonna wait until my V-bands come in tomorrow. Duarte had them next day over from Vibrant. These are something that we don't normally carry in stock because I need so much of them. I need a V-band coming off of this because this actually fits right there. I gotta cut that hole, and I'm gonna show you guys how to do it with my plasma cutter, and everybody knows plasma leaves slag. However, now that this is all finished, welded up, I'm just gonna tip this up a little bit. I'm gonna add water to it. I'm gonna fill it up to about here with water. So any of the slag that goes down into here will just hit water and it'll wash out of here, so we won't get any of that residual slag stuck to the inside of the stainless steel, because nobody likes that. So I found a cheat code you can either do, if you can fit it in there, you can just get wet paper towel, or not paper towel, but wet cardboard and do it, because the cardboard takes a little while to catch on fire, and if you actually get it soaked with water, it won't catch on fire. So you can just shove it in there and you don't have to worry about the slag getting in there. But this is a bit far for me to reach all the way through to make sure that, you know, my arm can't fit all the way down there. So this way I can just fill it up with water, cut my hole, pour the water out, and then I'll take the Dremel and clean up the hole and finish this up. And then I also have 2 ports that I have right here for my O2 sensors. So he got it all painted up, put in. I'm just gonna put his little 90 on there, the swivelly boy.
Red sealer, folks.
I forgot, something just came in. It came via Scoots.
Vibrant. Vibrant.
Hold on there. Oh! If it's anything like the picture, it's gonna be sweet.
Show him the goods.
Oh!
Yeah. That's stockish, but still very pretty.
Big yes.
3-inch inlet?
3-inch inlet.
Yeah. It's alright. We can expand her. So why don't you go ahead and jam her up into place there, fella.
Now look at the tips on it too. Straight stock looking. Love it.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be a good look.
Yeah.
Tuck the tips in a little bit. You're not gonna know.
He'll never know until he steps on it.
Till the gate of waste.
That's why I have trust issues.
I made a hose that goes from there to that little return fitting we put in the oil pan that you guys probably can't really see. But Cricket's doing a science experiment over here, so we're gonna watch him see if he gets electrocuted or not.
Yeah. So I've seen people that have their plasma tables and they have water in it. You know, I don't want to get any slag in this, so I added water to it. But I've never actually done it inside of a pipe before, so I'm gonna find out what happened.
Yeah. Splash Mountain. And it's cool because I can actually breathe now after you cut that.
Yeah.
Not the camera, Holmes. Part 2 of the Fuck Around and Find Out series. We're gonna see if can carry this out without making a big mess.
Not that sturdy. Well, you can't get in my way. It totally ruins it. I'm supposed to do it without any interruption. It'd be funny if I just fell on you and poured it all on you, though, wouldn't it?
I mean, that'd be a pretty precise pour. Some brown ass water, my guy. Hey, got the goods.
There's no slag stuck to it. It just has to be rinsed out now. I'm gonna grind it anyway, so.
Way to go, bud.
Pretty sweet. Yep. Now that I got this all nice and cleaned up, Trembles out, nice and clean, all around the edges, no burrs, fits perfect. Actually goes this way. Going backwards, I'm on the wrong side of it. Like that, I got my bungs drilled out. I mean, let's be honest, I just blasted some holes with a plasma cutter, but they're perfect. And in the meantime, Chris is running wires and lines and
trying to make things happen.
He wants to do everything he can before he sticks in that intake manifold because it takes up a lot of room. And he's still got stuff down there. He's got to wire in that pump, unless he already did. Nope, not yet.
I just plumbed in the one line going from the pump to the pan so far. Next one will be the one going from the oil return, which will be among the things that we receive tomorrow, I hope.
Sick.
Is the return fitting. If not, I'm going to steal it off that car. So, that little guy, from where he had his exhaust previously. Now the tip is on our transmission jack. Locked up. Nice stockish looking tip. The matte black casing on it really sells it. And you know, just a little bit of the tip sticking out, which is what you like to see. Enough to not melt anything, but still kind of stockish. So while he was doing that, I plumbed in this little Johnny. I still got to do some heat management stuff, but that runs pretty much parallel with the pan. I still have to obviously secure the line. It can't just dangle in no man's land. But both the lines to our pump and to the pan are made, and our pump is nice and mounted. Still got to wire it. Also, our 2 sensor locations are now nice and away from the floor. The rear one's just there for principle. The front one's the one that actually matters before anybody's concerned about one blocking the signal going to the other. So now I'm gonna start doing some plumbing on our MAC valve for our boost control. We put a 12 PSI spring in here to start. I don't know how much power they're actually gonna end up trying to squeeze out of this thing, but probably too much.
I just tacked this into place and it ended up actually being perfect. I popped it off because Chris wanted to make sure it would be perfect.
But you had to cut the length off it anyways. But
Yeah, I had to cut a little bit off of this, 3/4 of an inch. That into that into there.
lock into the old tack welds.
Yeah, it just clicks right into place.
Things you love to see. I do have my hoses for our wastegate routed and tuck this guy up right in here. So not gonna be super accessible, but it's away from everything hot and I don't have to run like 10 feet of vacuum hose to put it on the driver's side of the car. Then we just gotta put an intake on it. I have my coolant lines right now complete. Kind of hard to see.
Shout out to Funk Motorsports, by the way. Turbo blankets and our
Funk
wastegate
Motorsports
blankets.
make these sweet little wastegate ditties, which just came in so clutch for us on this setup because my oil return line running over that way. Now it's safe. Great guys.
Great guys, love them. They even sent me a hat. The Funk is a living creature.
Your mustache is a living creature. So I still got to put in the O2 sensors, but look at this, Johnny.
We got her all done up.
Hello. Pretty much all of our fabrication stuff is done. I am just doing some last minute wiring in our scavenge pump to work off of either a switch or a key on position until we figure out how we're gonna run like a post cycle after you turn the car off. It's gonna continue to run. Right now I'm just wiring up the gauge. It is a wideband and a boost controller, as well as it has a logger built into it, which is cool, so we can hook it up to a computer while we're doing our tuning, since we're on the stock ECU and we still have all of our capability of having the active boost control and having a boost control solenoid. So we started with 12 PSI spring. Since we're gonna be on pump gas, we're gonna see how far that goes. And widebands in the downpipe and a boost gauge is teed into this little guy up here. So made a little mount to mount that over to the side here, and then this vacuum line feeds off of this T here, which is running from this manifold collector. Something, I don't know what you wanna call that. Vacuum manifold?
There's a word for it, I swear. It's like they sell them like that.
Yeah, they sell them like that. So this came from a different kit that we had. And since all of our vacuum ports were on the intake manifold, which is gonna see a little bit of vacuum, but it's not gonna see the actual engine vacuum, whereas this tube is post throttle body like your intake manifold normally would be if you wouldn't have ITBs. So this is actually gonna give us a more accurate reading of what our boost is here and what our vacuum is here. So that way, for tuning purposes and also for boost control, we know what we're actually getting for boost here, as opposed to like if we had a boost leak here, we'd be over boosting on the turbo side, but under boosting on the engine side. So at least it gives us real-time boost. So that, I gotta run a hose from this to the bottom of the intake manifold for the idle air controller, and I still have to wire in our mass airflow sensor, which should be here today, and our intake air temperature sensor. And then Jordan's gonna send us a base map. I got some oil on the way for our break-in, and then hopefully we'll be able to fire this thing up today and make some noises.
Chris was right. Vacuum manifold.
Aha!
But then there's also what I was thinking was a vacuum block.
So now, power, ground, headlight switch for dimming purposes. We got this cool little billet mount that we got up here. I'm gonna tuck this in here as nice as I can. try to not block any of his important gauges, you know, like speedo, because this is a street car.
Yeah, you
And
gotta
then
know how fast you're going.
They also give you like 15 miles of wire for everything, so I gotta neatly tuck everything up there. So our giveaway company, is that the company? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, the
It's
organization.
a sweepstakes company that we go through
Yeah.
for insurance purposes to pick out the winner of the 370Z. They pick out 3 contestants, final winners, there's 3 of them, and they go through to make sure that whoever purchased, or if they sent in one of the postcards, whatever, that they didn't in fact like refund something, or if it went through and it wasn't a fluke. So after all that is said and done, we actually have our contestant winner. So we're gonna call him right now and fuck with him a little.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing? Is Dylan there, please?
Yes, this is Dylan.
Dylan, how you doing? This is Cricket over at Drift HQ. I'm just doing a little follow-up on the seat brackets that you ordered from us.
Yes.
They got me doing customer service today. My shop's getting cleaned right now. So you ordered,
Okay.
what was it, seat brackets for a Miata?
Yeah, that's what I ordered.
See, those won't fit, will
I
they?
don't think those are gonna fit in your new 370Z.
I won?
You won, buddy.
You're the winner, bud.
You're the guy.
370Z. We're sitting in your car right now, actually.
We're warming the seats up for you.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's great.
So we got to line up a time for you to come down, get the car, take a look at it, do a little compound walk around, get to meet everyone.
Maybe do some donuts.
Maybe do some donuts. Yeah, definitely
Okay,
do some
that would
donuts.
be great.
So we're excited to have you come down and visit with us and get your car. So stay tuned. We'll have Joel contact you and give you all the cool information. Oh, congratulations, buddy. Who thought that a pair of seat brackets would win you a whole car,
Right?
right?
We got people spending like $30,000-$40,000 upset that they didn't win, but you know what? Luck of the draw, buddy.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Hey, no problem. Congratulations, buddy.
Yep. Thank you. Just keep me updated.
We'll do. We'll send an email right out.
All right.
All right, take care.
Thank you.
We have a winner. We have a winner. And babies, you didn't win. This is someone's car. Don't be jumping up in it now. It's not ours anymore. It's Dylan's. So Dylan will get flown down here to check out the compound, check out Drift HQ, meet everyone here. Then we'll fly him back and get the car shipped out there, I believe, right?
Maybe he'll want to drive it all
Maybe
the way
he'll
back.
want to drive it back. I mean, I would.
You all smile.
Show this ditty off all throughout the country. We really look forward to our next giveaway. We have no idea what it's going to be, so maybe leave a comment and let us know what you think our next giveaway should be.
Yeah, they just kind of drop things off in the shop and be like, hey, get this done for somebody else. So, you know, maybe that's you. You might be the somebody else.
Yeah, you could be the next guy to get a car like this. I wish I was. Man,
Right?
this thing is
Imagine
sick.
we could win these cars.
It'd be awesome. We can't, but we can build them, and we'll make sure that we give you the best build quality that we have and the best parts available here at drifthq.com. Make sure to go shop. Like, subscribe, comment, and pick out our new giveaway car. At least give us some ideas.
Yeah.
Give us some ideas.